Hi, this is DT's Premiere TD Made Simple. Like, share, subscribe. For this activity, you will need a ruler and a compass. First, we clean our instrument. Then we place it vertically, meaning up to down. Estimate the middle of the page and draw a light line. We turn it horizontally, also estimate the middle of the page and draw a light line going across. With that, now we have 4 sections. So we just label 1, 2, 3, and 4. The title of this lesson is Line Types, Bisecting, and Perpendicular. So now in section 1, we draw a light line near the top borderline, and then we put line types because that's a topic. Then we draw our first line, which is a light line or construction line, 5 centimeters long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We start counting from 0. All right. So when we are drawing the line, we start our line from 0 and we go all the way to 5. Light line. Then we draw another light line beside that line and write the word construction line. All right. Then underneath that, we'll do 5 centimeter line as well, ensuring that the spacing between each lines we're going to draw is estimated to be even. All right, 0 to 5, and we press on the pencil to get a dark line or a thick line, which is called an outline. Then our dimension line is the next one, and that is also going to be 5 centimeters. It's supposed to be lighter than the outline but darker than the construction line. All right, 0 to 5. Then when we're finished, we draw our arrowheads and shade them in. Then we establish our light line beside that and type dimension line. So now we're finished with that section. Remember, light line is construction line, also thin. Dark line is outline, thick, and then dimension line is in between. We're moving on to our next section now. Draw a light line, and we're writing the next topic on it, which is bisecting a line. All right, so when we bisect a line, we're pretty much dividing the line into half, meaning there will be 2 equal halves on both sides. All right, so that line is going to be a line in the middle, and it's going to look like a cross. So let me show you a little demonstration of what that looks like. So we would first draw a horizontal line, and then that bisector would be going through that horizontal line, all right, looking like a cross. So because of that, we start our drawing in the middle, not close to the top, not close to the bottom, in the middle. Remember, we're developing our spatial awareness. This line is going to go from 0 to 5.5 centimeter, which is the same as 55 millimeters. All right, so 0 all the way to 5.5, and it should be a light line or construction line. So the construction line you drew before, you can use it to measure up to the line you have to see if it's done correctly. Label our line A at one end and then B at the other end. These letters should not be touching the line. There's a little space there. Now it's time to learn the concept of bisecting a line. We need to get our compass, place it on the table, not on your paper because you don't want to mess it up. Ensure that the point of the compass and the pencil is placed down and they are even. All right, once they're even, tighten your compass and you're ready to go. That is phase 1. Phase 2, we put our compass point at A. Then we're going to ensure that it's not on the letter A but on the line at A. estimate with our eyes where half is, then push our compass past half. All right, so point at A, open to more than half the line that we've estimated. Then we are going to swing or get our compass swing from where the side A is at the top all the way back down, going towards A again. All right. Then after that, I want you to notice that when I swing my compass, I am merely twisting the compass at the top. I don't use both hands. I don't touch the pencil. All right. Keeping the same radius now, meaning we do not change, open or close the compass. We put it at B. That's the line at B, not the letter B. Then we scribe an arc from B all the way back to B. This arc should cut your previous arc or intersect it at 2 points. All right. That is where we will be drawing our line. So our line should be going through the points, not beside the points, but through it. All right. And this is now our bisector. So we label C and D. After we have completed our drawing, we're going to darken the lines that are important for them to look bold and look like outline. So AB is the first line we darken. All right. Remember, measure it to the one you have drawn on your paper so you know that you're on the right track with the line weight. Then CD, and you can also measure that one with your outline. With that, our drawing is complete. All right. Remember, point at A, open to more than half the line. All right, then we scribe from A at the top back to A at the bottom, keeping the same radius. We put the point at B and scribe to cut or intersect at 2 points. Then we draw our vertical line in the middle, and that is our bisector. Remember, we measure up to ensure that our line types match. Our compass swings or scribes should match the construction line. Now on to number 3. Light line. Then we're going to write on it. Our next topic is perpendicular, and this perpendicular is going to be at a point P that is on the line. Bear in mind, we won't be learning how to do our texts properly now until after our first tri-weekly. All right. Now that that is done, I'm going to show you what it's going to look like. So it's going to be a horizontal line, and then there's going to be a vertical line resting on top of it, meaning that both lines meet. So just like a T-junction, right, where you have a road going straight and then you can probably have a turn off, it's somewhat like that. All right. So first thing we need to do is to establish where on the paper we're going to do this drawing. We see that we can start from the bottom because there is nothing under the bottom like with bisecting lines. So now we need our measurement. So 0 to 6. All right. Using construction lines. So we go from 0 all the way to 6. Then we're going to label our line A, B. Remember, A should not touch the line and B should not touch the line. There should be some space. The next thing we need to note is that it's a point P on the line. So we need to put a random point P. Notice my P is not too close to A nor too close to B. All right, and then I label P. If it says that our point P is at a certain measurement from the line, we would just use our compass to measure it and put it there. So the next thing is to put our compass point at P, close it a bit so it doesn't touch A and it doesn't touch B, do a swing test just to check if it touches the line on both sides. After we do that swing test, we're going to go ahead and scribe from below the line, going back to the other side and also ending below the line. All right, so these 2 points now, we're going to label them C and D because we're going up in the alphabet. Now we are going to put our compass point at C, and we're going to open our compass. All right, and this has to be opened to D or past D. All right, not behind D. All right, then we are going to do our swing test to see if it works. All right, once we do our swing test, we go ahead and scribe our first arc. All right, and this arc is coming from the side where C is going down towards D. It doesn't go all the way down, but it's going in that direction. Then keeping the same radius, we put it at D and swing from the side of D going back towards C, cutting or intersecting the previous arc. Now we have a point, right? But this arc is a bit dark, right? So I'm going to erase it just a bit so it looks as light as construction line. And if you encounter issues like this, you can always use your eraser to lighten the line. Now it's lightened and I like how it looks. I'm going to draw my perpendicular line from P going all the way up to the intersection, and this is going to be in outline. My AB is also going to be outline, which means that it's dark or thick. Now we are done and we have completed our perpendicular line. So when you get a question, perpendicular line, create a perpendicular line or construct a perpendicular line at point P on the line, that is the method we use. All right. Now I'm just going to write an activity for you to practice on your own. And this is to use the concepts you have just learned to bisect a line that is vertical. So instead of AB being horizontal, it's going to be vertical. And it's going to be 25 millimeters in length. All right. And for B, it's also going to be 25 millimeters in length. Oftentimes I see where you get the measurement of 25 and you just put your ruler and draw a line. That's a no-no. We need to ensure that it's from 0 to 2.5 centimeter, which is the same as 25 millimeters. All right. Then we label that AB, and that's the line that we're going to bisect. Also, it's the same for the perpendicular line. It's going to be AB, a vertical line that is 2.5 centimeters long. Just remember the concepts. All right, and if you don't remember, just replay the video and try writing the steps down or practicing. So for the first one, you're going to bisect it, and the second one, you're going to erect the perpendicular on the line AB. Please ensure you pay close attention to the methods, and remember, point P is a random point on the line unless you are told to do otherwise or you've been given a specific measurement. So go ahead and attempt those. And just remember, prim, proper, and perfect from the books to the looks. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comment below. Bye.